I remember feeling like what I wanted in love was so out there, so unattainable, and also feeling like who I was too much and not enough at the same time. So if you've ever thought, oh, wow, what I want in love just is probably not out there, I want to share this video with you specifically. So I just got asked this question. How did you embrace your kind of inner weirdo to find love? And so I wanted to share some of the things that came up in that conversation. Because I do remember thinking, wow, I want someone who is really a professional person who's got their act together when it comes to their career. But I also want someone who's kind of goofy and creative. And I want someone who likes like weirdo animals, and I want someone who's spiritual. And it sort of felt like, how could all that be in one package? So like professional, but creative, funny and still, got their career together. And yeah, okay. So there was a bunch of things that were in that brought up my own self-doubt. And it made me think, well, am I going to have to settle? Am I going to have to compromise? Am I going to have to give up things in order for me to have what I want? Well, here's what I discovered, because I actually do believe that if you have that desire for a relationship, a specific kind of experience of relationship, I like to say, because it's really the feeling, the life that you are asking for. So what is that life you're asking for? Being in relationship, it can feel like you're supported. It can feel like someone gets you. It can feel like you're appreciated, and that your life is greater. Your life is greater. Your life is easier. Those kinds of things are really what I think of the sort of energy of what relationship can bring, certainly specifically to what I was asking for. So for you, it may have a different flavor to it, but this is, so in embracing, who I was and what I wanted in relationship, what I realized was that if you have that inspiration within you, then that is your relationship. So not giving up on that, not giving up on any part like of that inspiration. So if you have the desire for a love relationship, and yet your mind is coming in and saying, no, you can't have that. Oh, that's too much, or you're too weird. Then paying attention to those voices. So that would be the first thing I would say, is start noticing as you're kind of settling into, oh yeah, I'd really love to have this. Notice the voices that arise, because if it feels bad, if it feels heavy, if it feels even mean, then those voices are absolutely lies. They're not true. So number one is getting in relationship with your inner critics, getting in relationship with your mind and how it tends to want to sabotage or stop you from creating more in your life. So that's a really important part. Number one, kind of recognizing the voice of the inner critic and the self-judgments that can come up and kind of distract you and take you off course from that thing that's in your heart. So that's the number one thing I did. Well, I wouldn't say it's the number one, but it's one of the things. The other thing is really making a choice for a love relationship and doing whatever it takes. That probably would be the number one, is making the choice to say, hey, This really matters to me. I'm going to have my back. I'm going to make a choice to figure this out and do whatever it takes. For me, one of the steps was doing that inner work, getting the self-awareness and relationship with that deepest part of myself that actually was not the default of how I was living before. So how I was living before was I was jerked around by self-judgment and my inner critics and comparing to other people's relationships and buying into the myths that come along with relationship, like, oh, well, if it's meant to be, it'll just happen. And, oh, well, I'll just, hope that something shows up. Like, that doesn't create anything. That's just actually more dangerous than anything, because likely you will meet people and likely you'll fall into the emotional piece of relationship and then be swooped away into these low bar relationships, mediocre relationships, what I like to call bargain brand relationships, where you truly are just settling into trying to make it work. So first choice. Second, really getting that self-awareness. How do you do that? Meditation is a powerful process. Getting into the stillness, being able to start creating that space between your mind and your actual conscious self, your soul, your being, the truth of you. In Kundalini Yoga, we call it the Sat Nam, the essence of who you truly are, which is connected to the greater consciousness. And that's how you receive and are kind of sensing those inspirations, those light ups of like, oh, wow, I would love to share my life with someone. So that comes from that deepest part of you, that wisest part of you. And then, in terms of actually what I call the weirdo advantage is being able to start seeing all of the ways that I've made myself wrong and not good enough. And oh my God, there's a chainsaw going on outside my house. All of the ways that I had decided I was too weird for love, and too much but not enough, too weird and not sexy enough. And those things I stopped. And what I learned was the more that I could play into who I really was and really stop feeling like there's something wrong with me, which was just a habit, really a habit of thinking, oh my God, if this hasn't happened, there's something wrong with me. Oh my God, if if I'm not seeing anyone right away that gets me, or if I'm not naturally attracting people who match me, there must be something wrong with me. And so I changed a lot of that. I recognized that, when I was really honest with myself, it was like an honesty of being able to say, wow, I, through my own self-awareness, could go, oh, wow, I was thinking I had to be a certain way to be lovable. I was thinking that I had to like certain things to be sexy, or dress a certain way, or like I had a lot of different, basically unspoken rules within my world that made me pretty much continuously wrong in my single life and in dating. So being able to obliterate all of those ideas and come back to, wait a second, who am I? What would I love? What do I value? What's fun for me? And cutting out the things that were actually not me. They may have been projections of the world. They may have been projections from my family of origin or from magazines or TV shows of this is what it should look like to be that lovable person. Well, turns out that only you know what's going to work for you, and that's going to take an honest conversation with yourself. So those three things: making the choice, getting that self-awareness, doing the deeper work so you know who you are, and begin to appreciate those aspects of you that maybe you've made wrong in the past, so that you can actually be a champion for you and show up for you in that amazing way. So I call all of this really embracing your weirdo advantage. You know, what is it that you like? What's fun for you? What combination of kind of experiences and values and dreams in your life make up your special relationship, which honestly is only yours. It is not going to be modeled after anyone else's. And when you can do that, yeah, you are kind of a weirdo, because most people are trying to match a relationship to this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it means to be a goddessy woman or a feminine woman or whatever the things are. This is, you know, your time to just be you. And when you are you, creation is ready to serve you and bring you your unicorn match. So hopefully this was helpful. I really wanted to share it with you. If you liked this and you're watching YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. If you're watching this somewhere else, feel free to go check out lovevibetv.com, and you can check out my channel and subscribe to that, and check out getsuperloved.com if you want to see what's going on, what classes and programs are being offered right now. Thanks for being here. Bye, everyone.